Some new developments coming in on the tariff front. U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says that Washington will likely implement 15% tariff this week. Bessent made this announcement during an interview with CNBC. Bessent's remark comes at a time when U.S. and Israel's war with Iran continues to intensify as strikes and counterstrikes continue. The American president had announced 15% tariff shortly after Supreme Court struck down the retaliatory tariffs, which were first announced in April 2025. Since the legal setback, Trump announced fresh tariffs under Section 232 of the Trade Expansion Act of 1962. The U.S. president had first announced a new tariff rate of 10%, then shortly after vowed to increase it to 15%. And the president did indicate yesterday that they'd have no business with Spain and they will not do any business with Spain. Spain has been struck off the tariff dilemma, and the Spanish Prime Minister did react to what the president did say. He tells him, focus on the war, end the war, don't bully us. So this is the latest that is coming out from the U.S. Treasury, and Scott Bessent, who's the Secretary of the Treasury, says that 15% tariffs could be implemented this week. New tariffs after U.S. Supreme Court invalidated Trump's earlier order, and the U.S. Treasury Secretary says new tariff implementation is likely to start this week. Let's go back to our correspondent, Susan Teherani. She's joining us live in New York. This talk about tariffs has now started again. Yesterday, the president did mention, when he was meeting German Chancellor Friedrich Merz at the White House, he did mention that tariffs will not stop. I will not stop with the tariffs. And the Spanish Prime Minister has reacted to the president.
Yeah, this relationship between Spain and the United States really came to the forefront that it's going downhill after President Trump's meeting with the German Chancellor Friedrich Merz yesterday at the White House, the United States being very disappointed at Spain for not cooperating with the United States in its operations against Iran on the one hand, and also Spain has not, under the NATO's new rule, dedicated the 3% of its budget to the defense spending of NATO as well. But aside from that, President Trump, in front of the cameras, talked to Bessent and said that we want to take care of Spain and let's go ahead with those tariffs. So the tariff conversation, not only against Spain but against others, are front and center. They're still in the back of the president's mind, or should I say the front of the president's mind. They believe that aside from that Supreme Court ruling, there are more tools in their toolbox to be able to impose the tariffs that they need, not only on Spain but our other countries as well.
Susan Teherani is our correspondent. She is keeping a close eye on what is happening in Washington, D.C. and also the Pentagon. Susan, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you.